In Ocean world, power is not given, it is taken. In lands forgotten by time, a mythic conflict is about to begin. A war that will reshape the very earth. Two titans, one territory, and a clash that will echo through the ages. A heavy silence hangs over the world. A stillness broken only by the grinding of ancient rock and the whisper of a dying wind. Here, in the heart of a savage, untamed land, a line has been drawn. Not in the sand, but in blood and shadow. This is a kingdom of brutal truths, where the only law is strength, and mercy is a forgotten word. For generations, the blade-back Hyena King has ruled these desolate plains. His dominion absolute. His pack, a tide of teeth and hunger, has enforced his will upon the cracked earth. Their chilling calls the only anthem this barren wasteland has ever known. They are the scavengers, the opportunists, the relentless survivors. But today, a new force arrives. A walking mountain of rage and primal power. An unstoppable juggernaut of horn and hide, born from the deepest, darkest heart of the ancient woodlands. The Savage Rhino. 2. It is a creature of legend, a living battering ram whose very presence warps the environment around it. It has left its ancestral home, the dense, suffocating forests, driven by an instinct older than memory. It seeks expansion. It seeks dominance. And it has walked directly into the heart of another monarch's reign. This isn't a simple dispute. This is an invasion. A challenge to the natural order. A declaration of war that will spill across two vastly different domains. The shadowed, treacherous forest and the vast, unforgiving, sandy badlands. The air itself grows thick with anticipation, charged with the promise of violence. The hierarchy of this wild world is about to shatter. An epic battle is inevitable, a mythic-scale conflict that will not just determine a victor, but will carve new scars upon the land itself, creating a legend whispered on the wind for centuries to come. The stakes are absolute. Grandeur will collide with savagery. A king will defend his throne against a god of the wild. The fight begins, not with a roar, but with a chilling, predatory stillness. We are deep within the wild, on the edge of the ancient forest, where the blade-back Hyena King has ventured, drawn by the scent of this colossal intruder. This is a realm of untamed brutality, where survival is a zero-sum game. The Hyena King embodies this principle. He is not just an animal. He is the sharpened, cruel intellect of the pack, the embodiment of survival dominance. His eyes, burning with a cold, calculating fire, watch the rhino from the labyrinth of shadows. He sees not just a beast, but a challenge, a threat to his dynasty. His lips curl back, revealing rows of serrated teeth designed for shearing through bone and sinew. A low, guttural growl rumbles in his chest, a sound that promises a painful, drawn-out demise. It is the sound of raw, animalistic hatred. The savage spine rhino, in contrast, is pure, unthinking instinct. A force of nature given flesh. Its massive head, a fortress of bone and keratin, swings slowly, its small eyes scanning the oppressive gloom. It feels the predator's gaze, the shift in the air, the silent threat that coils in the darkness. There is no strategy here, no cunning plan. There is only the primal urge to meet foes with overwhelming force. Its breath huffs out in great, steaming plumes, each exhalation a testament to the furnace of rage burning within its colossal frame. This is the essence of the wild, a clash between calculated malice and unrestrained ferocity. The air crackles with fear and tension. The savage realism of a world where the only victor is the one left standing. The inevitable clash is seconds away, a maelstrom of claws, horns, and pure, unadulterated savagery waiting to be unleashed. The batter erupts within the suffocating confines of the ancient forest. This is not an open field, it is a trap. a dense primeval woodland where colossal roots twist from the earth like the grasping fingers of dead giants. A thick ethereal fog clings to the ground, muffling sound and shrouding everything in a ghostly pallor. Shadows stretch and writhe, playing tricks on the eye, turning every gnarled trunk and darkened hollow into a potential point of ambush. This environment is the Hyena King's ally. You moves through the undergrowth like a phantom, a blur of mangy fur and malevolent intent. He uses the visual depth of the forest to his advantage, disappearing behind ancient trees only to reappear from an unexpected angle, his chilling laughter echoing through the mist. He is testing the behemoth, probing for weaknesses, his pack darting in and out of the fog like fleeting nightmares. The Savage Rhino is a creature out of its element, yet it turns the forest into its own weapon. Slither, it is a siege engine in this cathedral of trees. With a roar of pure frustration, it touches. Trees that have stood for 1,000 years splinter and collapse under its immense weight. It tears through the dense vegetation, its horn gouging deep furrows in the ancient bark, its armored hide deflecting the snapping jaws of the lesser hyenas. The very ground trembles with its advance. But the Hyena King is a master of this terrain. He leaps onto a massive moss-covered root, using the elevated position to orchestrate the attack, his calls directing the pack's relentless assault. The suspense is unbearable. Every shadow holds a threat. Every rustle of leaves could signal a new attack. The forest itself seems to hold its breath, a silent witness to a battle fought in a labyrinth of fog and fear, where the potential for a fatal misstep lurks behind every twisted branch. The conflict spills out of the tree line, exploding into the sandy open badlands. The world transforms from claustrophobic shadow to blinding, brutal exposure. Here, there is nowhere to hide. The landscape is a canvas of desolation, sweeping dunes of coarse, grey sand and vast plains of cracked, sun-baked earth. The sun beats down with merciless intensity, shimmering off the blade-back Hyena King's scarred hide and glinting from the sharpened ridges along his spine. In this arena, the fight becomes one of raw power and large-scale destruction. The chaos is immediate and absolute. The Hyena King, now on his home ground, unleashes the full might of his pack. They swarm the rhino, a living tide of snarling fury, their claws kicking up huge plumes of sand and dust that choke the air. But in the open, the savage spine rhino is an engine of pure annihilation. Unfettered by trees and undergrowth, its charges are apocalyptic. It thunders across the dunes, a living earthquake, its immense feet cracking the dry earth with every stride. When it connects, the impact is catastrophic. Hyenas are sent cartwheeling through the air, their bodies broken against the unforgiving ground. The rhino pivots, a whirlwind of destruction, its horn a scythe that reaps a bloody harvest. It stomps, and the ground itself seems to buckle. It roars, and the sound rolls across the badlands like thunder. The scale of the destruction is breathtaking. Dunes are flattened. The earth is gouged and torn. This is no longer a skirmish. It is a war zone, a maelstrom of sand, blood and fury fought under a merciless, empty sky. The exposure is total, the brutality unveiled for all to see. This is a true fight, an extended multi-phase combat designed to grind down the will of a god. The battle escalates with every passing moment, a symphony of escalating violence that holds the audience in a vice grip of tension. It began with the calculated, tactical strikes in the Forester phase of testing, of probing, of drawing first blood. The Hyena King used his environment, his intelligence, and the agility of his pack to inflict 1,000 small wounds, trying to bleed the giant, to exhaust its boundless rage. The rhino, a fortress of muscle and bone, weathered the storm, its fury building, its power contained by the suffocating woods. Now, in the Badlands, The second phase has begun, a war of attrition. It is a brutal, head-on collision of stamina and raw strength. The rhino's earth-shattering charges are met by the pack's relentless encircling attacks. The escalation is relentless. For every hyena the rhino gores or tramples, two more seem to take its place, their jaws snapping at its heels, their claws raking its armored flanks. The Bladeback King, a general directing his troops, orchestrates the chaos, looking for the one critical moment, the one opening that will allow him to land a decisive, crippling blow. The tension is palpable. The audience is locked in, witnessing a seesaw of dominance. First, the rhino gains the upper hand, scattering the pack with a devastating display of force. Then the Hyena King rallies his forces, their coordinated assault driving the behemoth back, forcing it to defend. This is not a quick kill. It is a grueling, punishing, epic, long, drawn-out war that pushes both combatants to their absolute limits, ensuring maximum audience retention as the world waits to see which of these titans will finally, irrevocably, break. This is more than a fight. This is cinematic. Every frame is a painting of savage beauty. A piece of film-like visual storytelling designed for an immersive, unforgettable experience. Imagine the shot. A super slow-motion close-up of the savage spine rhino's horn, glistening with sweat and blood, as it narrowly misses the Hyena King's throat. Droplets of saliva fly through the air. Kedge. In the harsh sunlight like scattered diamonds, the camera pulls back to a wide, epic shot, showing the two titans locked in their deadly embrace against the vast, desolate backdrop of the Badlands, the swirling dust and sand, creating a natural, chaotic filter. This visual language is engineered for high click-through rates, for viral appeal. It's not just a nature documentary. It's a blockbuster movie. The emotional hooks are deep and powerful. We feel the Hyena King's cunning and desperation, the weight of his kingdom resting on his shoulders. We feel the rhino's primal, unstoppable rage, a force of nature that cannot be reasoned with. The pacing is deliberate. The ominous, slow build-up in the forest gives way to the rapid, heart-pounding chaos of the open-field brawl. And now, as both creatures bleed, as exhaustion begins to set in, the pace slows once more. Preparing for the finale. A heavy, decisive, and dramatic conclusion. Every element, from the sensory overload of the roaring and the crunching of bone to the high-stakes language of kings and gods, is optimized to create a cinematic payoff that will be shared, discussed, and re-watched. This isn't just a video. It is an event. An epic, wild, and cinematic fight for the ages. The final blow is coming, and the world will tremble when it lands.